dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 3 minutes after 6:30 on this Thursday, June the 4th. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News This Morning. A beautiful week. It's been getting warmer and warmer. I think Brandon's even said we've broken some records, which surprises me for early June, but nonetheless, we might have. But today we could be in store for some severe weather, not expected to be too bad, but I'll let Brandon explain since that's what he makes the big bucks for. So let's toss it over to him for a breakdown of what to expect on this Thursday. Brandon, good morning.
Good morning, Will. Got my back Puckett there on those lottery numbers earlier, so we appreciate you, my friend, and appreciate the setup there because we could see some severe weather a little bit later today. Not expecting anything too widespread, but the clouds already starting to invade, as you can see outside the WYMT studios. A little patchy fog there on the horizon as well this morning. So just be aware for not as much sunshine today at times and cooler just a little bit. We did break 2 days of records over the last little bit, but of course the year of 2020 has been crazy weather-wise, so I don't know why anything surprises us anymore. We're taking a look at temperatures across the region there. We see temperatures running in the 60s and close to 70 this morning across the area. So out the door today, make sure you have a way to get warnings, especially this afternoon in the heat of the day, because that's when those storms will really start to fire. They'll be scattered, but they'll be around, and temperatures only top out right around 84 later today. Will?
All righty, Brandon. Thank you, sir. Well, on Monday, Cumberland Falls State Park reopened after being closed on April 9th by Governor Andy Beshear. Cumberland Falls is a major tourist attraction for the area, and its closing was a major hit to Corbin tourism. Tourism Director Maggie Kriebel says during 1 year, more than 700,000 people visit the falls. June is typically the peak of their travel season. She hopes with the falls back open, tourism will pick up in the area.
We felt like we could finally take a breath, a sigh of relief that things were opening back up. You know, Corbin, we're located in the outdoor adventure mecca of Kentucky. And so all of our, the majority of our travel and tourism is heavily reliant upon the outdoors and those outdoor activities.
Corbin Tourism had to cut their budget for the next fiscal year by 50% after the loss of revenue during the pandemic. Meanwhile, the Riverfront Park in Leslie County has been closed for months, not just from COVID-19 related regulations, but from constant flooding. This year alone, the park has flooded 3 separate times, destroying and swamping parts of the park. With a relatively small staff, cleaning has taken time at the downtown Hyden Park. Thanks to a grant, however, Hyden's mayor says the park will be back soon and better than ever.
And we're getting new park equipment also when we have the grand opening, and we're really excited about that. And we also have raised garden beds in here for the first time this year, and hopefully we'll have vegetables that we can share with the community.
She adds that the farmers will be here on the 12th and 13th and says they will practice social distancing. They are still waiting for the go-ahead to open the park. Well, Kentucky is home to more than 150 farmers markets in more than half the state's counties. These markets not only provide fresh produce, but produce directly from the farms of our neighbors. And they're now reopened. Business as usual has a different meaning. WYMT's Lacey Roberts has more.
Here at the intersection of Highway 15,
hello,
Mike Johnson of Johnson's Fresh Fruit and Vegetables prepares for a busy day at the Breathitt County Farmers Market.
We're interacting with a lot of people for bushels forward.
With new social distancing rules and guidelines in place.
With not letting people handle it, sanitizing and washing our hands.
The market has a new look.
I don't want to catch it and take it home to my family, and I don't want to spread it to my customers.
The coronavirus. Johnson says his first priority is his customers as well as product.
Sold my last gallon right then. Without customers feeling safe to come to the market, I might as well stay home.
Like some farmers utilizing the help of the Coronavirus Food Assistance Program.
Well, that will provide direct payments to producers impacted by the pandemic,
covering the costs of lost specialty crops, including livestock, making going back to business as usual.
But now they're nice.
A little bit easier. In Breathitt County, Lacey Roberts, WYMT Mountain News.
The Breathitt County Farmers Market is open Wednesdays and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Well, most spring and early summer festivals were canceled due to COVID-19, but as we approach late summer and fall and restrictions ease, some festivals may actually stick around. The Mountain Heritage Festival in Whitesburg is from September 22nd to the 26th. Lee Adams, who is the Mountain Heritage Committee chairperson, says looking ahead, they plan on still having the festival, but are keeping a close eye on how things go with the Kentucky State Fair and other local festivals.
We love our community, and we just hope to get to bring a festival and that come home attitude too, so in the end of September.
Meanwhile, the Osborne Brothers Festival in Hyden, which is in August, was canceled on Tuesday. Well, for the first time in its 70-year history, the city pool in Paintsville will not open this summer. With restrictions placed on pools because of COVID-19 and the pool building being deemed unsafe, the decision was made not to open this year. Instead, it will undergo what could amount to a $1 million renovation and hopefully be ready to go next summer.
These kids are going to suffer this summer. Now they are. This is what they look forward to once they get out of school. And I've never been involved with the pool being shut down. Like I said, when I was a kid, I lived right up here in this housing project, and this is the place I came during the summer. So I'm sure it's going to be a shock for them.
A new building, pool renovations, and hopefully a splash pad are what's in the works. Well, Summer Splash Water Park in Somerset will open on June 29th. The park will operate with limited capacity and strict guidelines and procedures due to the global pandemic.
We've put in some policies that we think are going to make it a little bit better. One being infrared temperature checks for every guest that comes in.
100.4 or higher, it's going to target and locate, and then it'll actually send us a notification, and then we can find that individual within the park.
Other procedures include employees wiping down tubes, railings, and chairs. Well, do you want to get away and spend some time outdoors? 2 new cabins in Knott County at the Mind-Made Adventure Park are finished and ready for people to enjoy them. The cabins are set up like a studio apartment and provide a place to stay for people who ride the nearby trails. They can be reserved for $100 a night with a 2-night minimum. Reservations can be made by calling the park.
These are all going to be small starter cabins, People want to come into town, ride for a little bit, stay the night. Eventually, we hope to have bigger cabins, more rooms, holding more people, a new lodge built up here.
To book the cabins, you can call the Mind-Made Adventure Park at 606-497-7558.
It's time now for our daily Helpers and Heroes segments, where we introduce you to folks who are serving on the front lines across our region and helping folks every day, even outside of this COVID-19 pandemic. Let's go to our first picture this morning, and that one comes to us from Annetta Boggs. This is Kelly Bledsoe and Kelly Austin. Both are nurses in the operating room at Harlan ARH. Thank you both for your service to your community now, during the pandemic, and every day helping those who may not be able to help themselves. Our next picture was submitted by Christy Hall. This is Sarah Little from South Floyd Elementary School. Christy says Sarah works hard every day to make sure students of the district are being fed, a practice I'm reasonably sure they're probably still doing now, even though school is out. Christy wanted to say that she is proud of Sarah, and all of her hard work. We'll add our thanks to that as well. And finally, our last picture today comes to us from Dalton Stidham. I like this picture. This one caught my eye when I was looking at this. This is the fine folks over at the Redbird Clinic in Leslie County, and they're standing out front of their facility with a powerful message. We are here. That is the definition of always being part of the community, not just now, but all the time. Thank you for going out and going above and beyond during this time and all year round. So again, you've seen us do these. We've been doing these since late April. Keep sending them in to us. There's 3 ways you can do that. We want to highlight you, especially if you're working on the front line. It's not just healthcare people. It's grocery store workers. It's city workers. It's people who work at the animal shelter. We haven't seen any of those yet. So again, get those to us. Go over to WYMT.com. Click on the Helpers and Heroes link on the left side in the drop-down menu, or right there on the homepage below the radar. You can also hit the Add Media button there where you see the Helpers and Heroes pictures, and you can also send them to me directly on my Facebook page at Brandon Robinson WYMT. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you, and thank you to all those helpers and heroes. And thank you for joining us right here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up, one University of Kentucky student is suing the university to get a partial refund for tuition and other fees after being forced to move online during the pandemic.